Let me know if my screen is up.
Yes, Uber. We can see your screen.
Okay. So since Shravani has joined newly, we'll get started from the beginning, just to give an overview to her. Okay.
So,
Yeah. So Shravani, Power Platform altogether is actually a platform where you can build easy tools, an end-to-end tool you can create for any end users or your clients. For example, there are three parts coming under Power Platform. Okay, that is Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. Okay, all these three things do a different functionalities altogether. Like it can create your end-to-end solutions, or sometimes you can club all of these together or any two of them together to meet your requirements. Okay. For example, coming to the first part of Power Platform, that is Power BI. Okay. It's actually a data visualization tool. Okay. For example, you might have heard some dashboards kind of tools that people used to create, like, Tableau or SSMS, right? They used to create interactive dashboards to design interactive dashboards as in designing them in pie charts, graphical representation mostly, right? So that's what Power BI does here. So Power BI is currently actually taking over all other existing tools which are running from very old now. So right, it's overcoming all of those earlier tools, and it is leading the data visualization entire sector. So here, Power BI, it's a cloud platform altogether. So here you can connect to the data sources. All the one more advantageous part is you can connect to the cloud data sources as well as the server data sources as well. Like SQL Server also, if we have, it will connect to that and it will fetch the data from there. Okay. So for this is purely for visualizations. Okay. And coming to the Power Apps, Power Apps is a low code, no code tool. Okay. That means you can develop an application very quickly here with minimal coding techniques. For example, if you have a requirement to build a tool, right? Suppose I'll take a event management tool, okay? Wherein which you have to a user have to come to the screen, they'll see a home screen, and there if they click on that, it will open a registration page for them, right? And then from there they'll select some categories, like for example hackathon if we are conducting, then they will select few ideas from there, and they'll provide their inputs, right? Some registrations kind of event management tool will be there. So like that we can design from end to end, right, in the Power Apps application development, like a Power App Studio, right? You just have to, drag and drop things. Like for example, you might have used PowerPoint and Microsoft Word, right? So it has its whole toolbox from where you'll drag and drop things. So same here, it will also provide you like similar kind of toolbox where you can drag and drop controls. And but only thing here will be you'll be adding some logics to it since you are dynamically showing the data on your screens, right? On the application canvas. So something like that. So you can build end-to-end application with the help of Power Apps. Okay. Now coming to the Power Automate. Power Automate is nothing but a business process automation. Okay. To give you an example, for example, whenever you come in and log into your tool or a system, right? You'll do some set of activities generally, like for example, booking the timesheet, or for example, if someone else is misses to book the timesheet, you want to send out an email, right? All this requires manual interventions for you, right? For example, every month you are sending an email to your supervisor saying so and so content, or kindly review so and so. If you're doing this activity every month or every week, right, you can automate such processes with the help of Power Automate. We can schedule the flows. Like Power Automate is nothing but a flows. We can call it Microsoft Flow. So we can schedule the flows, and we can also do it on click of a button. For example, event driven flows. So there are multiple types in Power Automate. When we come to it, we'll discuss it in detail, right? So Power Platform consists of all these three majorly. Okay, but there are other two sectors over here, which is newly launched. Okay, One is Copilot. Okay. Power Virtual Agents is one more chatbot, which is there in from the beginning, right? So it's a chatbot basically for virtual agents. So for example, in a tool or in your application, if you need a chatbot, you can always develop the chatbot with the help of Power Virtual Agent. It is also available under Microsoft Power Platform. And there's something newly launched called Copilot, okay, which is nothing but recently everybody is using this Chat GPT, right? So Copilot also works like a Chat GPT. If you want, it will give you the generic answers like Chat GPT gives you, or else if you can provide the data sources to it. For example, I'll provide some SharePoint data source or Excel, right, or SQL. Any data source, I'll add it. It will search from that specific content, whatever I'm providing, and it will show me the details. So Copilot works something like that. Okay. I hope these three aspects are clear for you.
Yeah, yes.
So
Yes,
moving,
Abhay.
yeah. So moving further, as you can see here, there's something called Power Virtual Agents, which was there since the beginning. Okay. And if you see here, there's something called data connectors, portals, AI Builder, and Common Data Service, right? Which comes under Power Platform altogether. Okay. So data connectors are nothing but the how you can connect to the data sources available for you. It's something like that. Okay. Portals are nothing but now it has been shifted to Power Pages. Okay. This is actually a website development thing for external users. So for example, we build public facing sites for any clients, right? For example, if I have a client of Maersk Supply Service, Maersk Supply Service is all orange shipping company. So they will be needing a public facing websites for them, which should be available for everybody. With like, we buy a host, right, online for them. Similarly, Power Portals was earlier and now it's been changed to Power Pages. You can build your own custom website and you can buy a host and you can publish it for publicly available for it to be publicly available for everybody to use. There's something called portals. And next is AI Builder. Okay. So AI Builder here is not only the Chat GPT which we were talking about. Here, AI provides you many models actually. So you can utilize those models and you can train them based on your needs. For example, if I have come up with a requirement to you saying that I have so and so links available with me in an Excel, and I just want to automate the process. Like you have to open the links, you have to navigate, into the browser, and you have to extract only specific key phrases from those links and store into my so and so backend data source. For example, SharePoint, Excel, anywhere, right? So at that time we have something AI builder model that's called key phrase and extraction. Okay, we can utilize this model and we can train them according to our needs. For example, firstly, we can ask it to open the document in a browser, and then we have to train it like which key phrases we have to actually extract it from there. Okay, so that specific key phrases it will extract for us and it will show it. Okay, so that's how we can train the AI builder model and we can utilize as per our needs. There are many other models available out there, which we'll discuss going further. And coming to the common data service, okay, CDS, this is also called as Dataverse. Okay, this Dataverse is actually a data source which is coming by default with Power Platform. Okay, so this common data service is having the data will be stored in the form of entities. Like you can consider it in a form of tabular format. Okay, entities is nothing but you can consider them as a tabular column. Okay, column you'll define some data type to the column, right? Text, number, something like that, lookup, right? So like this will be it will be stored in the form of tabular format, and you have to define different columns and you can integrate it with any of your data sources. Okay, going further we'll discuss all about this, how we will better utilize in our projects. Okay. Yeah, coming to the Power Apps, right? Power Apps is having two different types. That is model driven apps and canvas applications. Okay. So these both are, acting as two different, categories here. And for example, if someone comes in and asks you to choose which kind of application will you choose, like for example, if I'm coming up with the requirement, right, for you. So according to the requirements, we have to actually decide like what kind of application to choose. So for that, we need to know what two specific categories are and what are those two categories differences, right? First will be model driven app. So let me tell you the brief about model driven apps. Model driven apps is nothing but it's a static layout application where in which you will be having only one data source, that is Dataverse. Just now we are talking about CDS, right? So model driven apps will be having only one data source, that is Dataverse. Okay. And it will give you a static layout which you cannot customize. Whatever is available inside the platform for us, like a dashboard kind of thing, a view we can design. Like whenever we go to the application build development, we'll look into those. So it will provide you so and so window, and you can do only that much that has been defined over there. You cannot change much UI as per your needs, right? Whatever is available, you can utilize those and you can build a application. Okay. So you'll be having only one data source, that is Dataverse. Okay. This is about model driven app. Coming to the Canvas applications. So Canvas applications here, Canvas is nothing but it's a plain window for you, plain canvas it will give you, like plain area to play around with. You can create multiple, layouts according to your requirements. You can play around with the UI. Like I was telling you, you will be having a toolbox to drag and drop the controls and design in your own way. So Canvas will provide you such a uh, environment where you can play around with all the controls and you can design as per your needs. Or if example client is coming up with a specific layout for you, you can keep that layout as a reference and you can design accordingly whatever the tools are available. Based on that, like there are many tools available out there, sorry, controls available out there which you can drag and drop, and you can design your own entire application as per the client needs. Okay. So that's how the Canvas apps will be. And one more thing in Canvas apps will be, like in model driven app, we will be having only one data source, right? In Canvas app, we can connect to 350 plus data connectors we have. Like we were talking about data connectors. So in Canvas app, data connectors will come up, will come into picture, where in which you will be able to connect 350 plus data connectors. For example, there are multiple connectors out there, like SQL Server is there, Oracle DB is there, SharePoint is there, right? Excel Online is there, OneDrive. So all these data sources you can connect to easily. There will be a connector for you. You can connect with your own credentials, or else if, for example, if it's a SQL Server, you can connect with different credentials as well. Like you can create a connection and you can form up and you can create one whole entire application for yourself, consuming the data, right? So now this is a difference between Canvas app and model driven app. Okay. So there are a few limitations as well when coming to the Canvas application and model driven application. So we'll discuss these limitations going further when we are doing the actual things in practical. Okay. Okay. So I hope this kind of overview is clear for you guys, right?
Yes, yes, it's clear. Thank you.
Yes, Uber.
Yeah. Now coming to the Power Platform Studio. Okay. So before going to this, do you guys have trial license for this Power Platform available with you?
No, I mean, I
Okay,
don't know where to get it from.
sure. I'm sending you a link in the chat. Just
Sure.
open this and okay, I've placed a link here. You can use this link, and there is something called try for free here. Okay, whenever you go over here, it will ask you a office email. Okay, so for example, you create an Outlook email, you know like generate trial Outlook account for yourself. Okay, or you
Mm-hmm.
can actually link your Gmail account with your Outlook as well. So it will create you that on Microsoft.com kind of email ID. Okay, That email ID you provide here, and you can sign up. Okay, it will be for free whenever you sign up. Okay, with that.
Can we
Hmm.
okay? Can we for example, I have my office email, which is a
Mhm.
webmail. Can I try that one, or it has to be Outlook only?
You can try, but it's your personal laptop, right? Don't try your office email. Try create a new account in Outlook, and
Okay,
that
in
you link
Outlook.
it with
Okay,
this. That will be much better.
okay, okay, done. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So whenever you sign up, it will be for free for you, and you can utilize it. And this kind of application, I mean, studio will open for you. I'll drop this link as well for you to navigate to the studio. After you sign up, right? You might need to go to this specific URL. Okay. Place that link as well. Okay. Now coming to the Power App Studio here. Okay. So as you can see, before going ahead and playing around with each and everything, first important thing will be we have to know the navigations part, like what things are placed and at which place, correct? So let's go with the navigation first, what each and everything will do, and then we'll deep dive and how better we can utilize those is something we'll see. Okay. So first thing is nothing but a home where you can see all your entire applications over here listed down. Okay. There is two tabs here, something called unmanage and manage. We'll discuss about this in our further sessions. Okay. And if you see here, there is something called create. Okay. So this tab is something where in which you create an application for yourself. Okay. There's a blank app at the description itself says you a blank app, like create an app from scratch, like start from a Dataverse table. Dataverse, as I said, this is the CDS, Common Data Service, right? For the data source available with Power Platform and SharePoint, Excel, Figma, all this are available. So it's just a template. If you create an app with this, selecting such an option, it will add a data source for you, where in which you have to provide your credentials and move further. That's what it does for us. Okay. And next thing is learn. Learn tab is nothing but it will give you some tutorials kind of videos, right? How better we can create applications or play around with it. That's what it does. It's just a learning part. And coming to the apps tab. Apps tab is something where in which you can see all your application which you have built for yourself, right, in your organization. And so if someone else is also created, that will also be listed here, but you cannot edit them like the way you have edit access for the one which you have created. And there's something called shared with me tab, right? So this tab will be something, for example, I have created an app, right? And Lucky is the one who is the user, just he is coming and log into that specific screen. So if only if and only if whatever the application which I created and I shared with Lucky, right, as a owner access or user access, that time Lucky will be able to see that specific tab in a specific application in this tab. Okay. And all the name itself says it will show all the applications available out there, like model driven app and Canvas app both. Okay. If you see with this, you can make out which is model driven app, which is Canvas app. This edit icon will come for Canvas application, and type also here it's there. Like, you can see what kind of application it is with the help of this type itself. Okay. And there's something called tables. So these tables out here is nothing but your common data service. That is Dataverse. Okay. So this data was whatever the tables are available in your platform studio, right? Everything will be listed down here. Okay. So by default in my studio, all these are listed down. Okay. Next comes flows. Flows, as we just spoke about Power Automate, right? This is nothing but Power Automate. So whatever the flow Power Automates we create, everything will be listed down in this specific tab. Okay, and there is some specific URL to go to Power Automate as well that will look into it when we are dealing with Power Automate. Okay, next coming to the solutions. Okay, solution is actually a specific category which, for example, I'll explain you what solution is. Solution is utilized for you to move the application or the Power Automate, like Power Apps or Power Automate, from one environment to different environment. Like it's kind of deployment you can consider, right? So when we are deploy, for example, we will be having development environment, right? If we are actually working on the project, generally, you'll be having a development environment, then a UAT environment where business users will test it, and there is something called prod environment. Okay, you'll be given three environments, and all these environments will be listed on here. If you see here, you will be able to see all your environments available in your available with your credentials, because whatever the access they will provide, then only you will be able to see those environment here. Okay, so based on this, I can switch the environments. Like for example, if I have to go to development environment, I can just click on this and I can go navigate to different environments, something like this. Okay, now coming back to this. Yeah, so solution is basically what it will do, since I just told you that, you can, it's for deployment like application and Power Automate, right? So you can consider solution as a container, right? So whenever you're creating something, a new solution, you can add multiple applications into it. You can add multiple Power Automates into it, right? There are many things you can add. Like you can also add Dataverse tables. You can also add chatbots, right? All these things you can place under one specific solution, whatever you're defining, creating for yourself, and we can move it to different environments. It will be simple. Like for example, I have this default solution available, right? I can just click on these three dots and I can say export solution. Okay. And then when I switch to different environment from here, right? For example, if I'm switching to this Power Pages developer. Here I can just come to this.
You mean to say you can transfer to different
Different
environments,
environments.
like you have three environments, you can.
Yeah. For example, from
Okay.
in the development environment, I created my application and flows. I want
Hmm.
those things to be available in my different like
UA.
prod environment or UAT environment, right? At the time, I
Hmm.
can just export it from there, the solution. Like I said,
Hmm.
export with the help of this option. And here I can just directly come and click on this import solution. And we can directly
Uh-huh.
select that specific package and we can import the entire solution for us. So that's how deployment will be done.
Yeah, first they will test everything in UAT and then after it will go to
Okay.
development.
And next
So
comes the,
so
yeah, go ahead.
So sorry. So this is like what, for example, in Canvas and in UAT. So whatever you build it in UAT,
Mhm.
okay, that is the application side.
Mhm.
So you will go ahead and save in this solution, and from there, if that is running fine with all the approvals, then what you can do is you can, if you just move that from here to production,
Mhm.
that's it, right? Then again you can just go ahead and run there, and it's not like again you have to build from the scratch there. It is just
That's right.
to,
You will just have
right?
to
Oh, cool,
export the
man.
package and import it into a different environment.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, next coming to the custom connectors. Okay. Custom connectors is actually a very important topic and it's interesting as well. So here we can create a kind of, have you guys heard about APIs, right? Creating an APIs. For example, API is nothing but uh, I want to fetch specific details of any user. For example, you're working in your organizations, right? You'll be having some unique ID associated with you, right? By default, it will not be available unless and until you will fetch the user's specific credentials or specific IDs, right? So all these things will that can be fetched with the help of API. Okay, so this API will add some parameters, and it will, a URL will be provided for you. With the help of that, you'll be able to, you should be able to pass that and get the specific values for yourself. For example, if I take Sai will be having some employee ID associated with it, for example, 10638, right? So this is associated with Sai. So I have to go inside the specific URL and this API. So you can ask me from where will you get this URLs, right? So whenever this custom connector requirement will come now, those users will give you this URL to access it, and to what kind of parameter also you want to fetch. They will provide you those details. You can utilize those and create a custom connector to fetch such kind of information and include in your applications. Okay, so that is something called custom connectors. So we can create many and we can go through it, like how it works actually whenever we are discussing on the topic. Okay, and there is something called more here. Okay, there are many things available out here, right? Tables we have already discussed. Flows. Websites is nothing but Power Pages, right? Agents is nothing but Power Virtual Agents, which we are talking about, like chatbot, which we are discussing, right? It is that. And AI Hub is something I was talking about, right? We have some models available, like key phase extraction model, right? Document or PDF reading model. So all this will be under AI Hub. Okay. So this monitor is nothing but a testing kind of feature. Okay. For example, your application is developed. Okay. And a tester is assigned to your project. And a tester wants to test specific functionalities, right? He can come to this specific monitor feature and he can define, like, what logic is performing in what angle and how it is getting executed, basically. That's what monitor does. Okay. Catalog is nothing but it will provide you multiple categories. Like catalog itself, name itself says, right, it has multiple features available, which will be listed down and we'll explore going further. Solutions we have already seen. Cards. So this cards is nothing but control for you, where in which, for example, you create some business cards for yourself, right? Whenever, for example, I'm hovering this specific thing, right? It will show me this kind of layout. So there's nothing but a card for my account, right? So such cards we can design with the help of this cards control. Choices is again a control, which we are talking about. For example, if you have multiple choices available out there, we should be able to, generally will check the check boxes and select multiple choices, right? It's that control over here. Connections and data flows. Okay. So connections, coming to the connections. Okay. You'll just click on this. Okay. So connection is actually a very important topic. What connection does is, for example, if you are connecting to any data sources, right? If I've connected to SharePoint, if I've connected to Excel, right? If I've connected to OneDrive, right? So whatever the data source I've connected to in the applications, right? All those will be listed down here. Let me show you one thing. I'll go to the different default environment. Okay. So see here, it has SharePoint connectors, right? It has Dataverse connectors, Outlook connectors. Why? Because all these things, connectors I'm using in my applications. So whatever application, like no matter how many applications I have built, so I might be using multiple connectors in one application and other connectors in other applications, right? All those connections will be listed down over here in this connections part. Okay, you can see there are multiple connections also created. Why? Because I'm utilizing different connections in different applications. That's why. There can be multiple instances created for your connections as well. Okay, that's what connections is all about.